Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ryan here again, playing through another game. This is Back to the Future on the Nintendo. No death run. Uh, I don't have a whole lot of positive things to say about this game. Um, from frustrating hitboxes to, you get one chance at the final stage, regardless of how many lives you have one chance, and then you have to play the whole game over again. Lack of overall gameplay. I mean, you'll see these walking stages. There's probably close to about, let's say maybe 15 or I don't know, probably closer to 20, and they're all the same. All they do is change the color of the street, but it's the same thing over and over and over again. The most annoying enemy in the game are these bees that generally you can jump over everything, like a trash can you can jump over. Like the bees, they move like, it's like in a homing pattern, but they kind of go around you, so you have to just do what you can to shoot them as quick as possible, because they end up just, in the later levels, there's 4 or 5 of them on the screen at any given moment. Like, you can't dodge all of that. It's impossible. So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to what's going on in the game. So, I'm collecting the clocks in order to preserve that picture that's on the bottom of the screen. Kind of like in the movie how Marty has that picture of his family. And as the enchantment under the sea dancer, like, once they all disappear, then he dies or something, because they had never been born, whatever the reasoning was. So you collect the clocks in order to maintain that picture. The only power-ups in the walking stages is you can get a bowling ball, which is what you can use to, as you saw, you can just shoot the bees and shoot whatever, certain obstacles that are in your way. You can get a skateboard. Now, a skateboard by far is the best weapon, or it's the best pickup, because it helps you get through the levels quicker. And you can see on the bottom right, there's a timer. If that timer goes to 0, you die. You have to start over. So the object of the stage is to basically get to the skateboard as fast as possible. From what I've seen, the only way the skateboard shows up is if you already have a bowling ball. So you have to get the bowling ball first, and then you can so right now I have 4 bees on me. The only reason why I was able to get around all that was because I was on my skateboard. You can move around a lot faster. But if you're just walking, you're pretty much dead. You're not going to get out of that. But anyway, so with the skateboard, you obviously can see you move a lot faster, and it kind of gives you a little bit of leeway too as far as the clock. So the longer you're on your skateboard, if you get hit, you fall off your skateboard. Like, you lose your power-ups, you lose everything. But if you're on your skateboard for a pretty good amount of time, it kind of gives you that buffer of making a mistake. If you get hit, it's not as detrimental if you're on your skateboard, because you're moving so fast anyway, that if you make a mistake and have to maybe walk the rest of the way, you don't run the risk of not completing the stage. Now, the problem happens when you get hit, 3 or 4 times in a row, and you're just walking. That's when you run the risk of not being able to finish the stage. So here is the infamous diner scene. Now, the only reason why I was able to do this as well as I did, I mean, I had a 1 death playthrough where I actually got the counter up to 99, but I messed up on a really dumb part in the game. And but anyway, so in this diner section, think there's 6 positions Marty can be in, which means there's 6 positions that the guys can approach you from. Now, as this stage gets harder, there's more guys on the screen, but it actually helps you because you're able to have a gauge of where Marty needs to be. Because if a guy gets knocked down, you can see if the guy coming up next to him is he above him or below him. It's easier to see than if it's just a bunch of single guys coming out. You can't really see, you have no gauge of where you're supposed to be. Now, a couple seconds ago when you saw the 2 guys fall seemingly by themselves, I hit the B button. That's the equivalent of a bomb. The game doesn't let you know that. Like right now, I just used one. So that's the equivalent of the bomb. The game doesn't let you know that you start out with one of them, and then that girl that drops off the milkshakes, she if you pick up the milkshake when she drops it off on the counter, that's another one. So that's a heads up for anyone having any issues with this particular stage. You start off with one bomb, which is the B button, and then if you get that girl to drop off a milkshake, you get another one. So again, more walking, just changing the color. I think my major gripe about this game is it's just boring. Some games can be simple, but still very fun. Like Pac-Man is one of the simplest games I've ever played, but it's really, really fun. This game is, I don't know, it's just not, it just wasn't enjoyable. It wasn't an enjoyable experience for me. Especially after that, I beat the game with 1 death, and then, yeah, I don't know. But like the major thing that really gets me is the 1 chance at the final stage. Now, I guess theoretically it makes sense. Like you have 1 chance to get back into your own time, and if you don't, make it, you're stuck in the past. I mean, it makes sense logically, but what's the point of having lives? Because what happens if that picture goes away on the bottom of the screen? See, I've lost one of the guys already, but as you collect clocks, you can get them back. So once the picture fades away, you die and you start over, which is fine, whatever. But if you're gonna use the logic that you only have 1 chance at the final screen or the final challenge or whatever, why even give a life bar? If you're gonna take that avenue as far as your thought process of why you only have 1 chance at a particular area, especially the ending, just let the player have 1 life. Once the picture goes away, you die and you're dead. You lose a life. You don't just lose a life, you're dead. Game's over. So now I have 5 Martys left. Yeah, I don't remember what the point cap is as far as when you get extra lives. I think maybe 10 or 20,000 or something. I don't know. I mean, the music is just boring and repetitive, and I mean, I don't know, it's just awful. And you hear the same music the whole time. Like, I don't understand. I mean, even during screen transitions, it should just be silent. It's all you hear for the whole game except for the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, which you hear a really interesting version of Johnny Be Good. But we'll get to that later. Oh, and if you jump at the end of all these stages, you get extra bonus points. There's something to do. Okay, Okay, so now I have to collect all these hearts like in a book. Now this stage is dramatically easier than the diner stage. Like there's a lot more leeway as far as where you can be standing for the hearts to, you know, kind of to register as being caught. In my opinion, the game gets significantly easier as you progress, which is kind of weird. Like, it just kind of feels strange. The hardest area in the game for me by far was the diner, just because of the lack of spatial awareness. Like, you don't really know where you're supposed to be, especially in the beginning. Like I said earlier, once you're in a groove of once you're in a groove of where the guys are, and if you kill one, the guy runs like underneath him, you know, just to move one space down. But for the most part, you don't really know. Like, it's just hard to orient yourself correctly to be successful. Now with this, with each of these mini games, like this one I'm doing now and the diner, you need to get 50 points in order to progress. If you don't, then you have to redo the previous walking stage and then try again. I got 99, and the game ends at 99 for both of those. So I don't know exactly what you've accomplished by putting all these hearts in a book, but that happened. So now I have to get to the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. I am kind of bummed out that Marty doesn't have it's like a red jacket. I mean, it's kind of cool they have him on a skateboard, but even then, like, if I remember right, he wasn't ever on a skateboard. I think in the very beginning, he was on a skateboard. But in this particular moment in the game, he's supposed to be in, like, 1955. And in 55, he just took that little kid's, like, soapbox scooter thing and made it into a skateboard. He didn't have an actual skateboard. So, take that. That's wrong. I don't remember him ever bowling. Was that in the movie? I really don't remember him being a bowler. I think it was the second movie where he gets fired, like, over a fax or something. And, like, the way that the work people, the 2015, the way the work people dressed was, they would wear 2 ties instead of 1. I always thought that was kind of funny. It made them, more professional if they had 2 ties. So here's where the bees start becoming issues. They hover around you, and, like, it's just a mess. I don't know. It's pretty scary when you're running around, especially if you get hit or something and you lose all your power-ups, and you're trying to just make it to the end before the time runs out, and you're getting swarmed by bees, and you have no way of actually combating them. That's when they can get really annoying. Oop, and I got hit. I don't know what it is. Every time I record one of these commentaries, I always have to, like, yawn and stuff. I don't know what that's about. Oh. This one I actually might... One of the levels, if I remember correctly, I come really close to not finishing it. And I remember being very mad during the me playing through the stage, because I was pretty sure I wasn't going to make it. And once you get past a certain point in the game, because the game is so repetitive and boring, I mean, for me, like, I didn't want to play it anymore. I had no interest in trying again. But yeah, that one was close, 40. I think there was another one that was less than that. I don't really remember. I recorded this like 2 or 3 days ago. And that's what I do. If you guys didn't know, so I record my video and then do commentary afterwards. that's more, and that's because if I'm doing a no death run of a game, I mean, I tend to concentrate and I'm really quiet, and that's incredibly boring, I'm sure. So I record my commentary afterwards because, one, I don't have to worry about, you know, if I mess up an area or something, I can just play. It doesn't matter. And then I can talk about it later. So that's what I do. I have been getting some requests on like what my setup is, like how I record my videos. So I'm probably gonna have that coming up here pretty soon. My room is just it's a mess right now. I don't want to show you guys what my gaming area looks like. It's embarrassing. But once it's all cleaned up, you know, I'll make that. It's pretty simple. You know, okay, the enchantment on the seat. Okay, so now I'm wearing like a jumpsuit thing. Now I don't understand how people had like a lot of problems with this particular stage. So if the note is a regular note, you just put the guitar in the middle. If it's a flat, which is the B, you know, if you guys aren't musically inclined, the B is flat and the pound sign is sharp. Sharp is a half of a note higher than the normal note, and flat is a half a note lower, which is why the sharp is up high and the flat's down low. I've seen people actually fail this stage. I don't know if they just don't understand how to play or what, but I mean, it doesn't take that long to figure out. All the flats go on the bottom, all the sharps go on the top, and then the normal notes go in the middle. So now your parents have gotten together, they made out or whatever. What was in the movie? Marty's dad punches like some weird creepy guy. Like he's all over Lorraine, like trying to hug her and stuff. And then he comes up and punches him in the face. I think he falls into the punch bowl. I like Back to the Future. It's a good series of movies. And I think they record. No, did they record all of them at once? I think they did that with Lord of the Rings. I think they recorded all 3 Lord of the Rings movies at the same time. I could be mixing that up. So this might be the stage I was actually getting upset at. So you can see I'm getting lit up by these bees. I'm not really sure. It's hard. They're hard to avoid, and they're fast, and some of them spawn, you know, directly in front of you. There's not a whole lot you can do, especially when you don't have your bowling ball or if you're not on a skateboard. Not a whole lot you can do. Yeah, see, 8 seconds left. This, I think, was the stage that I got the closest to dying in. And if you miss like an object, there's no need to really go back and go after it. Just let it go. There's enough clocks in all the stages to make up for one if you missed them. Especially when you're on your skateboard, because you're so fast. I mean, you're gonna miss a lot of them, and there's no way you can go back. You're just moving too quickly. I think I have like 2 stages left. Yeah, this one and then one more, I think, and then it's the DeLorean. Actually, it might just be this one, then the DeLorean, which is pretty cool. The game's almost over. I mean, you can see the skate. It's a boring game. The music is repetitive. The control, I'll give the control. It's okay. I mean, some of the hit detection is kind of biased. But other than that, I mean, I guess the control's good enough. So here, this might be the stage that I got really mad at because you only get one chance at it. Which again makes sense in theory. Oh, okay. Sorry, my mistake. There's one more walking stage. I don't know how many walking stages that was. There's a lot. I'm not sure what the oil slick does. I just always completely avoided it, so I don't really know if it really affects you. I think I remember like walking over it like on accident and stuff, and nothing happened. I don't. That might be something like that only affects you if you're on a skateboard or something, which would make sense. If you're on a skateboard and you hit a thing of oil, you slide around and fall down. Kind of wish there would have been a picture of like Doc Brown or something though. Kind of weird. He's not in the movie. He's not in the game. Here we go. So now it's the DeLorean. Looks like I only got like a minute. Okay, so this is actually. Oh, and yeah, you get a grand total of I think 5 seconds to see the ending screen when the game starts over. And so the point of this little mini stage or this part is to avoid the part where the lightning hits the ground, or you'll slow down. You have to get up to 88 miles an hour, and then you have to hit that the ribbon thing at the end. So anyway, this is where I'm gonna say thank you for watching. Hope you liked it. I appreciate all the views. And that's it. Please rate, subscribe, all that cool stuff. I got a couple more games I'm going to be doing here pretty soon, so thanks for watching. Have a nice day.